Can you buy a home with gold and silver? How much gold and silver would it take to buy the average house? Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Campbell's Coins. In this video, I'm going to explore how much gold and silver it takes to buy a home, as well as look at some historical data to see just how much or how little it takes to buy the average house. Coming up. I have created an entire channel centered around the topic of owning physical precious metals to protect your wealth. I have briefly touched on the topic of exit strategy when it comes to trading gold and silver for tangible assets. But an exit strategy implies an exit from precious metals after a specific point. As someone who has been stacking for nearly 20 years, I can say with confidence my mindset with precious metals has definitely shifted towards an undulating wave. I know you're probably wondering, what the is he talking about? I will never be done with precious metals, but as time goes on, I will have periods where I have less than I have now, as well as periods where I have more than I have now. I will trade off metals at opportune times for other tangible assets. When the time is right, I will trade back those tangible assets for precious metals. Notice how I said trade and not sell? I believe I will find other like-minded individuals willing to use gold and silver as a medium of exchange. If I'm unable to, I can still trade out my gold and silver for whatever medium of exchange is being used at the time, whether that is CBDCs, fiat, or clamshells. What tangible assets am I looking at to trade for? Some assets I'm looking at would be land and housing. But how much gold and silver would it take to buy the average house in the United States? Depending upon what government source you choose, Fred or the US Census Bureau, there's actually different averages for the average price home. These charts that I have here use Fred to produce the average. Back in 1980, when the gold price hit $800 per ounce, it only took 85 ounces to buy the average house. In 2002, it took 834 ounces of gold. Price of gold fell at the time, and the price of homes increased. Home prices are the highest they've ever been in US history, but it still only takes 235 ounces of gold to buy the average house in 2021. Let's take a look at silver. Very similar ratios to gold. In 1980, 1,464 ounces of silver could land you a home. In 2002, it was 55,175 ounces. In 2002, it was 55,175 ounces. In 2021, it's 15,319 ounces. 1,500 ounces of silver is a very respectable number to reach. Imagine what the gold and silver ratios would look like when the price of gold and silver skyrockets while the real estate market bubble pops. I really like these charts because it's not priced in currency, it shows real money, which is gold and silver. One other thing to note in regard is to the average. Not only has the average price of the home changed over the years, but so has the size. The average home size has grown tremendously, making these charts even more enticing because you're getting more square footage. Additionally, just like the gold to silver ratio, one can look at the gold to house ratio or the silver to house ratio to determine if they want to sell their house during a high to capitalize on the most ounces. Then later selling those ounces for multiple homes of the same average as the one initially sold for. So looking at the silver chart, let's say you sold in 2002 at 55,000 ounces. You got those 55,000 ounces of silver, and then let's say like in 2012, you decided to sell off some of those ounces, well, now you only need to sell off 5,000 ounces to get the average home. So you can buy multiple average homes for that same price that you sold off in 2002, just by using silver. Obviously, this is a bit more risky and difficult to time, but it's still interesting nonetheless. One last point I wanted to bring up for those who don't currently own physical gold and physical silver. Gold and silver are extremely liquid assets. You can literally trade them in for whatever currency suits your fancy. I used to tell my family, if you decide gold and silver aren't your thing, you can always trade it in for cash, but at least you have physical metals in your possession. It's kind of funny to me. Most of my family won't touch gold unless it's in jewelry, simply because they don't understand it. But our family farm was purchased in the mid-1860s using gold. A gold loan issued by a German farmer helped us secure the land that we have today. It warms my heart seeing so many stacker channels on here showing how they are securing their family's future and trying to bring in new people into gold and silver stacking to secure theirs. If you're interested in other topics like this one, check out the other videos I have on my channel discussing the rarity of these metals and how they can help you preserve and protect your wealth. If you made it this far in the video, you guys and gals are my super stackers and collectors, and I really do appreciate you. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.